So I wanted to do something a little bit different on the channel where I talk about like a lot of the animes that I've seen across my life. And I wanted to start off with Bloodlad first because Bloodlad is a series I saw like many years ago. I honestly can't even tell you the year that I saw it. All I know is like when I first started watching anime like all those years ago, that specific series was one of the very first ones that I touched, I think. I don't know, it's just been a long time. That's why I'm having a hard time processing exactly when that was. But I just wanted to share like my overall experience with it. And I think that's going to be the theme for a lot of these videos in the future. I'm just going to be sharing like my overall experience, like just basically sharing my journey with the series, how I felt about it and everything. So this should be a fun video, especially since I get to go back and, talk about Bloodlad. So if you guys have any thoughts on Bloodlad, if you guys happen to see the anime as well that you guys want to let me know about, you should let me know in those comments. As always, we can talk about it and have fun with that kind of thing. But yeah, let's just hop straight into this video and allow me to express how I feel about Bloodlad with you guys. So I remember coming across Bloodlad late one night while I was browsing through anime recommendations, and around that time I really wasn't looking for anything in specific, just something fun to watch that didn't take itself too seriously. Because around that year, I remember I was watching a lot of the same types of shows and just wanted something with a different tone. And someone described Bloodlad that I came across as this vampire anime with humor, and it also had a very unique style. And when I read that, I was like, okay, this definitely caught my attention. And then I saw the artwork and I was like, okay, that looks really interesting. So I decided to give it a shot. And the first episode hooked me right away. The opening theme had this great energy to it, and it was really catchy too. And the setting of the demon world drew me in. It wasn't dark or overly serious like most vampire stories. Instead, it felt fast-paced, colorful, and full of personality. And that lighter tone made it easy for me to get invested, and I remember thinking how refreshing it felt compared to everything else I've been watching at the time. And then the moment Staz appeared, which is the main character of the show, I knew this show had something special, a vampire who's obsessed with human culture, especially anime, manga, and games. That right there was such a clever twist. And it was easy to relate to his enthusiasm for all the things human while still being part of this chaotic supernatural world. It gave the story a sense of humor that instantly clicked with me. That night, I ended up watching several episodes in a row. I didn't plan to, but the story just moved me so much that I just kept going. And finding Bloodlad felt like one of those happy accidents where you stumble upon something that fits exactly what you need at that moment. Something fun, creative, and different. And what really made me enjoy Bloodlad was its story and overall tone. It starts with Fuyumi, a human girl who accidentally enters the demon world to become a ghost, and Staz, fascinated by humans, decides to help her come back to life. That simple idea turns into a wild adventure. The show mixes supernatural action with comedy in a way that never feels forced, and every episode moves the story forward, keeping the energy high and the pacing tight. I like that it didn't follow the usual vampire formula. Instead of focusing on horror or some kind of tragedy, Bloodlad takes a more playful route. The demon world is filled of strange rules, eccentric characters, and unpredictable situations, but it all feels coherent because of how confidently it's presented. The show never pretends to be more serious than it is, and it embraces its chaos and humor while still having a clear sense of direction. And at the same time, there's a layer of emotion underneath all that comedy. Fuyumi's situation, being stuck between life and death, mirrors Staz's own feeling of not fitting in with his kind. Both characters are dealing with a sense of identity and belonging, which adds some surprising depth to their journey. And I appreciate how those moments came naturally without slowing down the story or changing the tone. And by the end of the season, I was impressed by how much it managed to do in such a short time. It balanced action, humor, and emotion in a way that kept me engaged throughout. And the ending left me curious about what would happen next, and that made me wish it continued beyond just one season. And Staz was the reason I kept watching. There's a reason why I keep mentioning him. Because he's powerful but unmotivated, he's clever but lazy, and That sort of combination just made him fun to follow. His obsession of human culture, like I mentioned, made him feel more relatable than most vampire characters I've seen. What I liked most was how his growth happened gradually, because he didn't suddenly turn into a perfect hero. He stayed true to who he was while still learning to care about others. And Fiumi brought a lot of heart to this show. She's kind and soft-spoken, but she never feels passive. Even after becoming a ghost, she remains central to the story and gives Staz a reason to push forward. Their connection isn't overly romantic, but it's genuine. You can tell they care about each other, and that made me want to see more of their relationship develop. And then of course, the supporting characters were just as entertaining. Wolf, who was Staz's rival, had great chemistry with him and added a fun sense of competition. And Belle, who is probably my favorite female in this series, had her own little teleportation powers, and she just had this playful attitude, and she always kept things unpredictable and lively. And each of them contributing something distinct to the story, which helped make the world feel bigger and more alive. And I think what makes the cast so memorable is how balanced they are, because no one feels unnecessary or one-dimensional, and even with a short runtime, every character leaves an impression, and that's one of the biggest reasons bloodlad stuck with me long after I finished it. So those are my thoughts on bloodlad. I had a lot of fun with the show when I watched it like all those years ago, and I know there's an OVA out for it. I just found out about that recently when I was like talking to a few friends like a couple weeks ago, because another friend of mine actually happened to come across bloodlad because it was recommended by my friend Neko, and he really liked it. He found out about the OVA because she told him about it, and I'm like, okay, you know, I feel stupid because I checked out this series all those years ago and I didn't know there was an OVA, so I have to find some time to watch that OVA, and then I got to figure out exactly what I'm going to be doing moving forward. Maybe I'll just finish the manga to get, you know, wrap up with the story there, because there isn't a second season, and that's something I really wanted from bloodlad, because it just left us on like this big cliffhanger. And I was just really curious to see, you know, what's happening next. Like, it's almost like one of those movies that you see that's like so good, and there's just like something more to it that you could see towards the end, but then it never happens. But it teases it like it's supposed to happen, but it never happens. That's kind of how I feel with bloodlad. I just really wish there is something more for it. Maybe something will come in the future. We don't know. I haven't really stumbled across anything online that has any sort of information surrounding that. So if any of you guys actually know about that, be sure to let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty sure there probably is a reason why, you know, there isn't a second season, because of, you know, whatever's going on with it. Not necessarily like upset or anything, but I'm pretty sure there's probably something out there that came out throughout the years ever since that premiered that probably gave us insight on exactly, you know, what's currently going on with it right now. That's all I have to say about bloodlad, guys. So I want to leave it to you guys. You know, I'm passing the ball in your court. I'm leaving it all up to you now. Let me know all your thoughts on bloodlad. You know, any memories you want to share with me, just anything that you want to say about the series as a whole. Let me know in those comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, as always, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And if you want to follow me on my social media, be sure to check out my X, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook. All the links to those are located in the description below, so be sure to follow me on there. Also, if you guys happen to have Discord, you guys want to join mine, we can interact with each other, talk more about anime and manga, be sure to do so. The link is listed in the description. It is also pinned in the comment section down below. And also be sure to click on that bell for notifications so you guys are notified whenever I'm dropping a new video on the channel. I hope all of you guys are having a fantastic day, wherever the day may be, if it's the daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.